taking me off the life support and the whole 9 yards and letting me go. And I'm just screaming with all of my soul, wait a minute, I'm still here. I was doing my prerequisites for the nursing program at Chevy College in El Toloma, California. I was raising my children, and I was doing catering work on the side, just, helping to pay the bills while I was in school. And I'd get home, wind down by about 3, and then I'd be up at 6 with my kids again and run all day long. I was doing what made me truly happy, and being there as a mom for my kids was everything. I wasn't stuck at a job all day long, leaving them with the babysitter. That was very important to me, to not do that, to be involved. It was Christmas Eve. Everything was wrapped and ready to go. Everyone was happy, school was done, finals were over, life was good, I just got paid, and it was a great day. We were very, very happy. My kids were playing on their bikes in the front yard, and life was wonderful. I sat down on the couch because I started to get very lightheaded and dizzy. I thought it was the flu coming back. I felt like my body was thrumming with electricity. It's like spark plugs going haywire. That's really what I was just shaking with it. I couldn't explain it, just like I was being shocked with electricity, but how is that possible?
She screamed from the top of her lungs, so I ran upstairs, and she was laying on the bed, cold sweat, telling me her chest was just killing her. It was pounding.
Scott came running upstairs, and he took one look at me and said, we're going to the hospital, and he scooped me up in his arms and basically ran downstairs. He was clearly scared.
As we're driving down the freeway, she told me, she goes, hurry up, I'm fading. So she felt something was going on, and we didn't know what.
I felt my heart slowing down. I could feel it stopping. And I'm thinking, God, what do you tell your children? It's Christmas. I knew I was dying. I didn't have time to say it. All I could say was hurry. I could feel my heart slowing down. It was skipping beats, and it was getting slower and slower. And I knew I was dying. I could feel it.
She is just like, hurry, hurry. And I'm driving as fast as my truck will drive. She starts moving her body across the cab like her eyes are closed. She doesn't know what's going on. You could hear this eerie last bit of breath coming out of her chest.
Suddenly, I wasn't in the truck anymore. I died in the truck. I felt myself kind of whoosh out of my body. Just whoop, and you're up, and you're watching everything from above. I felt my whole soul with me. Every memory that I had for my whole life was around me like a shroud.
I pull into the ER right up to the door, pick her up. By that time, she was completely limp. Down there, all the doors are locked. Some guy gets out of his chair, starts slamming on the door. Let them in. Finally, I just kicked the door in. A doctor grabbed her, put a stethoscope up to her chest. Next thing I know, sirens are going off, people are running. That same doctor is straddling her, doing chest compressions on her.
I was looking down from the ceiling. I remember hearing them say, code blue, and then very quickly, I was gone from there. Suddenly, I saw a young man with an expression on his face of more love than I've ever experienced. I think it was Jesus Christ. I remember hearing them say code blue, and then very quickly, I was gone from there.
They don't know why she's not breathing. They don't know why her heart stopped. They don't know anything. All they knew is that she wasn't breathing on her own, and they had no clue why.
I saw a young man with an expression on his face of more love than I've ever experienced in my life. He was beautiful. I won't say entirely Middle Eastern because his skin was fairer than that, but he had darker hair. And his eyes changed colors from bluish green to brown. And I'm standing in front of who I truly believe is Jesus Christ. And I'm looking around in basically awe. He said, now that I have your attention, there's a few things that we need to discuss. And you need to explain yourself.
Once the blood test came back, they found that there wasn't anything in her system. So of course, they were still wondering what was going on.
He showed me instances in my life when I could have gone this way or I could have gone that way. Why did you go that way? And I had to answer for it. Some choices that I made that had hurt other people, and sometimes I didn't even know it, but he showed me that it did. Because when you're down here, all you can think about is you and what you want, and when you're up there, you see it from you see the whole picture. But he said that I was forgiven. To be looked at with that much love, there's no words big enough. He said, there's not a lot of time. What do you want to do? And I looked around at this, the whiteness, it was so intense and so beautiful. And I thought, God, I don't want to leave, but there's no way I'm leaving my kids at Christmas. My babies need me. I said, I have to go. I'm standing in front of who I truly believe is Jesus Christ. And he said, okay, there's not much time. What do you want to do now? I thought, God, I don't want to leave, but there's no way I'm leaving my children.
My first thought was, one is my wife's gonna die. I'm gonna have 2 kids by myself, and my kids are always gonna have Christmas tainted for them. You know, if their mom ends up passing away on Christmas.
He said I was a good person, and he smiled at me and said, you have to go. And he shoved me. And I felt myself falling, and I felt myself suck back in, and I heard, okay, we've got a pulse, we've got a pulse.
After they got her heart started, they told me that her heart was only running basically on medications, and told me that she's not going to make it through the night.
I remember hearing people having conversations about me and the doctor coming in, and their prognosis for me was pretty dismal. They didn't think that I was going to live at all. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm here, and I'm trying frantically to move or respond or do something to let them know, because they were talking about taking me off the life support and the whole 9 yards and letting me go. And I'm just screaming with all of my soul, wait a minute, I'm still here.